back in that.
Go. This is Tony the Mayor from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast in Junction City, Juneteenth 30th celebration in 2025. And I have here with, this is Topeka High Drumline. I remember you guys were here last year. And I think I seen you guys on the news the other night. Did I see you guys on the other news? Yeah. Okay, so if you guys just want to tell me a little bit about Topeka Drumline, you want to go ahead and then.
Sure.
And what's your name?
I'm Stuart.
All right, Stuart. Okay, you just graduated. Okay, go ahead. Tell
All
me
right.
about it.
Hi, we're honored to be back. My name is Sal Cruz, and I have the honor of teaching these young people, and I'm a proud graduate of 1989. And back when we did this at Topeka High, when I was there, we were part of the marching band, but we didn't have a separate group that went out on the road. It was our band director, Mr. Steve Holloman, who said, man, you should do some things and take the kids on the road and have a little fun. So that's what we've been doing 35 years later. So we're very, very blessed to do what we do.
All right. So how often do you guys travel? Do you travel a lot? Is it more during school year or during the summer? Do y'all travel, do a lot of different shows and stuff?
Yes, we have a wonderful support staff out of our administrators who allow us to perform during what we call the drumline season, which is we usually take December, January, and February off because it's cold. But yes, our administration and our whole district, our superintendent, they get us on the road and allow us to go all over Kansas and, of course, out of the state of Kansas, too.
Okay. So you tell me a little bit about it, because as a youth, you just graduated, right?
Yes.
Okay, as a youth, I grew up in Chicago, and one of the things that I did, we had a park district. I did tennis, photography. Those little things is what kept me out of trouble. Kept me, not saying that you're going to get in trouble, but it had me to focus on something different than just, what my friends may have been focusing on, so which was the streets and other things. So tell me about what it means to you for being a part of this.
Well, everyone on the drum line is extremely committed, but we don't only just play the drums. Like, everyone's involved in other things like sports and Stugo and all other things like that. And it really helps with like discipline and hard work, and it's just something that you gotta stay right doing.
Okay, that's good. And we had some more of the drum line too. Yeah, here we're. Make sure
Davion, Susie.
Okay, we have Davion and Susie. Let's see if we can all get in here. Yeah, there we go. Can you see me? All right. So, like I just asked him, okay, you're part of the drum line here. What year are you?
I just graduated, class of 2025.
Class of 26.
Class 26. Okay, now tell me this now, because I was just telling them that I grew up in the inner city in Chicago, and for me, it was like I did tennis, I did other activities through the park district and things, because it helped keep me focused, helped keep me out of trouble too. What does this do for you, the drumline, and just being a part of like the family together that y'all have?
I feel like it really helps me get out into the community and connect with others, because otherwise I wouldn't really be able to. Like, we get to go all around Kansas, and I couldn't get that opportunity with any other activity.
Okay, all right.
I would say that this has helped me really find like where I belong in high school and like my crowd. The last 4 years with this group have really been some of the best years of my life, and they've inspired me on my college decision, what I want to study, and much more.
Okay, so tell me, before we close off here, what do y'all have coming up? Do you have any other besides here in Junction City? Do you have some other things, or you know about any other ones you got coming up?
In July, do you remember the dates?
We'll look it up. We can
Fiesta.
find you. How can we find you guys? Can we just
Follow Topeka High Drumline on Instagram.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, plug it, okay? And so we'll be looking for him. I'm Tony the Mayor from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast, and this is Topeka High Drumline. All right, this is Tony the Mayor from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast at Juneteenth 2025 in Junction City, Kansas, the 30th year anniversary of Juneteenth. And right now I have Jordan with me, and Jordan just left the stage, and I'm gonna let Jordan tell you a little bit about what he do and his ministry and his what we say, your talent, your career, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Yeah. Name is Jordan Cortez. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Raised in Springfield, Illinois. And I've always been a writer. I've always been a musician. I remember back in the day, my family would just have random talent shows. And obviously some of us liked it more and had inspiring people around me. So obviously it translated to the music. But I was always conflicted with my relationship with God. I didn't know how to incorporate it into my music. I just knew that I wanted to have one. But when I didn't have one, a real one, I saw it translate a lot of ways in my life that was detrimental. And it took a few people having to get me out of that. But I do definitely think music is ministry, and that ministry is not sugar-coated. The gospel isn't pretty.
Man, that's true.
Jesus died and bled, suffered
Yes.
on the cross so that we could have the gift that we didn't deserve. And so I try to emulate that in my music because there are a lot of people who are struggling out here the same way that Jesus struggled. And he knows that pain and he feels that pain.
Yeah.
And you got to connect with people on that or else they won't feel you.
Yeah.
The first thing that people can notice when they step into a room is how genuine it is.
That's true.
And so I can't hold nothing back in my music. I got to put it out there, but at the end of the day, I got to circle it back and let people know it's all God that is, directing my steps. So,
That sounds beautiful, man. Let me ask you a question, though, okay? Because people are always saying, I'm 60-some years old. I was in the church, in the 80s when I was young, 20, in and out, people are always saying, well, we want to get the young people in the church. When we bring the young people, what are we going to do for the young people? The church is everywhere. And when I say the church, I mean the church as a whole,
right.
the body of
body
Christ.
of,
What do you think what are young people looking for?
As far as church, what are young people?
What is when they say, well, we want to bring the young people in. When young people want to come to church, young people need Jesus. What are the young people really, what do you think that someone out there is really looking for? I know you said something about being real and being genuine.
I think they're looking for people who aren't going to judge them, first of all. So if they walk into a church, they want to feel that they can be accepted no matter what type of background they come from. And a lot of people don't understand that everybody comes from a different background.
Yes.
And so if I'm walking into a church and off rip, I'm like, hey, I believe this, that, and the third. I need you to work with me on that. I don't need you to shoot me down. I need you to be,
right.
I need you to have some sentimentality about it, right? But at the end of the day, there's nothing that can really keep young or old people from staying in the church. You just got to give them the gospel. Be their friend.
Yeah.
Be their friend genuinely. Don't try to reach them to make a number. Be their friend genuinely. Connect with them. Just be who God needs you to be. And I think it shows up. I think we try to create a whole bunch of methods for getting people in. And it's like, no, the gospel is good enough.
Yeah, you're just giving the truth, huh?
Yeah.
That's all right, man. You sound like, man, you say, are you preaching too?
No.
You better watch
No.
it. Yeah. Okay, one last thing. We know Father's Day is tomorrow. We got your father with you, right?
Yes, sir.
How important is that to you?
Oh, extremely. My father, my dad, is the biggest role model in my life. But I think that is such an understatement because he was much more than a role model.
Yeah.
He was like this. He was like, you ever see like something you going to get, like you got a goal that you setting out for,
Yeah.
and you see that goal visually, and you trying to do everything to obtain it. That was my dad. For all five of us brothers growing up, we wanted to be just like him.
Okay.
Now, obviously, he had his own mistakes, which everybody, everybody got their own mistakes. Everybody got their own turmoil. But our dad is growing every single day. And even while he's still here, which we have to be grateful for, even while he's still here, he's giving us new information that he's learning himself. And so we got a cheat code. we pretty much got a cheat code. I'm forever grateful for my pops. I love him so much.
All right, I thank you, and I appreciate you. I like your ministry. I'm from Chicago originally,
Yes,
so
sir.
we right up the road, Milwaukee
sir.
and everything. Then you said Springfield, Illinois, so we right there in the middle of you
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
dirty
so
capital.
I appreciate you. I thank God for a young person like you and somebody young that's putting the message of Jesus Christ out here and putting it out and being real about it.
I appreciate you.
All
Well,
right.
I'm no better than anybody else. I'm
All
just giving you what's in the word, you know.
There you go. All right.
So I'm not a saint by any means.
No,
you
none
know.
of us are. We just
A
striving
saved
to be.
sinner. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. God bless you, brother.
God bless
I
you too,
appreciate
man.
you. Man.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
All right, I'm Tony the Mayor from Experience Strength and Hope podcast, and I have Big Mike here from Chicago, and he's one of the performers here at Sundown Salute. But he's one of the performers here at Juneteenth celebration, and I'm just going to let him tell a little bit about himself and what he's going to do today.
Well, like you said, my name is Big Mike Pugh, P-U-G-H at the end. I hail from the mighty Chicago by way of St. Louis, my second home, and now I live down in Dallas, Texas in the DFW. Just came on up, I got invited up to come and do a little something what we call Talk Box. For those who don't know what it is, it's if you know Computer Love or Zappin' Roger. So we're about to have some Zappin' Roger good time today on the Juneteenth. Something that folks don't really get to do often, or hear often, for that matter. They don't really get to hear it, not in person. So just tried to carry that legacy for old Roger. And
that's good. I heard you up there earlier, and it took me back, gave me some memories. Roger Zapp, what's his name? Peter Frampton used to do
Peter Frampton.
Yeah.
And now it's my big bro, Mr. Talkbox, who does a lot of it.
I haven't heard him.
Well, you heard 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars at the beginning. That's my big bro, Mr. Talkbox. He kind of
that was Bruno Mars doing that.
No, that's Byron
right?
Chambers. He hails from Florida.
Okay.
He big time artist that's out, and he just kind of put us back on the map. So
where's some of the places you've been? You know, I know you're traveling here to Junction City. Where else have you been?
So as far as traveling, I've been through St. Louis, of course, my hometown Chicago. I've bounced here and there in Ohio. I'm in Dallas, so I'm in Dallas, Grand Prairie, Arlington area. I've been as far east as I've done Tennessee. I've been in Kentucky.
You've been out there, then.
New York, California.
Okay.
So I bounced around from each coastline.
All right. Well, thank you, and we appreciate you coming here to Junction City. Like you said, I'm from Chicago originally.
Yeah.
Born and raised. Got here to Junction City by way of the
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, South Side. So I've been here since 1980. My wife and I, we've been here, high school sweetheart. Thing I just don't. I mean, a lot of people don't understand is that we grew up in a culture in the neighborhood. I went to all black school. I had all black teachers. I had black doctors and everything. So we've seen those things here in Kansas a lot. They don't see the black politicians. They don't even see it in their textbooks a lot. You know. So this thing is really important. Them trying to get people to understand what Juneteenth is all about our history and about our freedom. You know, we know about America's freedom, but about our freedom, and we thank you for that. And like Dallas, I know Dallas have big Juneteenth festivals and things.
Oh yeah.
And being around that. So for you, what does it mean to you for us Juneteenth and what it represents?
Well, for me, so I'll be 44 this August. So for me, it really represents a lot of opportunity that I may not have gotten. I may not have been able to travel from the south up to the north like I can now as a musician or artist. And it's really a big example of how hard our ancestors worked to get us to where we're at now.
Okay.
I mean, we ain't done, clearly. We got plenty of nonsense still going on.
Yes.
As we talk right now, it's just nonsense going on. But to know that we got this far to where you can look out in the crowd and you can see a mixture of people walking around and no friction happened. I mean, there's still underlying in some cases, but in a lot of cases, a lot of people, a lot more unity. We get a lot more opportunity to get things done. We may have to work a little harder for something, but it is there. So the fact that it's there for us to reach and grab it, that's major for us as a black community. So I'm just proud of everybody that's before me, that set that paved and that path for us to really be where we can be at this point in that time.
Thank you. That is really important. And I thank you for saying that too, because like you said we still fighting the fight. You know, we still in there. You know, and I think for our young people, they have more tools than we ever had. You know, back in the day. So they have these tools, and we just us. As the people that we are, you know, the older generation, have to push them, to use those tools and everything. So I thank you. We're gonna be listening for your music and everything.
Please do.
Tell them how they can find you and everything.
You can find me. You can either Google under Big Mike Pugh, BIGMIKEPUGH. All of my social platforms are Big Mike Pugh. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you're looking for my music, it's under the same name, Big Mike Pugh. PUGH. Also, my band Pew Funk. You can. Pew Funk. It ain't the bomb. Don't play with it. Look. So we do a lot of funk. We try to bring the funk back up front.
Okay.
Letting them know, trying to carry that mantle for my big bro Bootsy and George Clinton and Prince. If you look on my shirt, they all on here with me. So they all representing us tonight. So. And of course Zapp and Roger. So Pew Funk, PUGH, FUNK. That's on all social sites and streams. So make sure you check us out. Come and follow us and keep up with us, man. We're moving around and doing big things. So. All
right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm Tony DeMere from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Tony DeMere from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast, and we're at Juneteenth. 2025, the 30th anniversary of Juneteenth in Junction City, Kansas. I have Bishop Olsen here with me, and I just want him to tell you a little bit about who he is. He opened up for us in prayer, and just a little bit about him and for the Juneteenth, what Juneteenth means to you and to this city, you know, because I'm from a fairly large city, Chicago, and so it was always celebrated. Our history is always presented to us, and it's like we wait once or twice a year and here in Kansas to recognize our culture or anything, you know, which we should be doing year round. But what does Juneteenth mean to you, Bishop?
Well, it means a lot. I tell you, I came up in South Carolina. I remember the day Dr. King was shot. I remember the fallout from it. About 8 years later, I came in the Army, you know, having come up in South Carolina, remembering the racial tensions and people trying to say that we don't deserve to go to school, you know, with the white race, and just kids not fully understanding all that. But coming in the Army and being around, you know, white guys, you know, in a close environment, you know, there was some hate there. But then God began to deal with me in certain ways. I began to read my Bible. That's my testimony. And begin to understand that God loves everybody. And we're going to have issues and situations. Knowing what my people went through, my dad quit school in the 6th grade, had to go out and work and share crop. So I got a lot of deep feelings about, you know, Juneteenth and why we celebrate Juneteenth, to be free not only from slavery, but to be free in the years after slavery. To do what we can, what we want to do, and not be held back. We can buy our houses, we can obtain businesses, you know what I'm saying? There may be a little resistance, but it's not like it used to be. So Juneteenth is special. We can look back and celebrate where we come from. And I know I can personally.
All right.
You know?
And I appreciate that. Like you said, I never, this experience of when you mentioned South Carolina, a few years back, I went to visit my daughter down at Fort Bragg, and she was taking me to the airport and somewhere. And that was my first time ever seeing cotton.
Right.
You know how excited, and I'm sure my ancestors were excited to see, but my first time seeing cotton and how beautiful it was, you know. And then it began to dawn on me, like, my ancestors, great grandmother, they had to go out here and pick this stuff, all day, in the heat and the sun, and those are some of the things that, just little things that I think that we've forgotten and that we don't see, and that this new generation could see. Just of where it took for not just for me to get where I am, but for my grandmother, they paved the way.
They paved the way for
my
us.
grandparents from Mississippi that moved to Chicago, you know, that they opened the door for me to be who I am today. And same thing with my grandsons and grandchildren. So I think too, also like you said, Juneteenth, our spirituality is important. And our Juneteenth, and you say you have that conviction that you had, because I was like, I got to Chicago, I went to all black school, all black neighborhood. And when I got to basic training, I wasn't used to being around. And I was in South Carolina and Georgia. So we seen, it was there in our face, but it doesn't do us good to render evil for evil. We don't do me any good to hate also. So I thank you. And you want to just tell them a little bit about yourself and your children?
Well, I went in the Army in 76. Retired in 95, matter of fact, June the 30th. And I came here in 89. And been here ever since, over 36 years or 34 years or whatever. And so began to go to the church down here, Pentecostal church at 5th and Adams. And then became the pastor a few years later, been pastoring there now for 30 years. So I enjoy Junction City. I didn't want to stay in Junction City. When I first got here, I thought, Lord, why Junction City? But it turned out to be one of the best things I've ever done. It was a good place to raise our children, a good environment. Everybody got along regardless of the color of your skin. And it was a good, diverse community.
It was.
Asians, African Americans, everybody got along. There was no skirmishes going on. So I always appreciated that about Junction. I love Junction City,
Yeah, it's Junction City. I'm thankful. I got out the military and I was going to move back to Chicago.
Same here.
My pastor told me, don't move back to Chicago.
Same
you don't need to move back to Chicago. And they took up a love offering, got me an apartment here, and here I am. I'm still here. And I'm thankful that I raised, like you said, I raised my girls here and my kids, and we feel comfortable. If I forget to lock my car at night, I ain't like I in Chicago. I'm like, oh no, or Detroit, so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for you.
It's been great.
Everything that you do for this community, and see you out walking and smiling and everything.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for the podcast. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you.
God bless.
All right. Tony the Mayor from Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast. I'm at Juneteenth celebration in Junction City, Kansas for the 30th anniversary of Juneteenth. Well, I'm right here with one of the committee members, chairperson, or what are you, Brewer, of Juneteenth?
Vice chair.
He's the vice chair of Brewer Curry, the vice chair of Juneteenth, and also of Street Prophet Ministry. And what else we have here?
Cameron Charles.
What's that?
Cameron Charles.
Cameron Charles, okay. All right, tell us a little bit about what you guys are bringing here and bringing it to the, I see you have your table set up over there and everything. And what are y'all bringing, and what are, as far as ministry, and what are you doing in ministry here?
See, he just kind of came volunteer.
Oh, okay.
So
so you just volunteering?
But they don't want to do it.
Oh, he don't want to do it. Okay, that's okay. We can cut and slice and everything like that, so it don't matter. What you want to talk about? Okay. Let me ask you a question then, okay? How old are you? You're 25. I remember when I was 25, okay? And people have always tell us, I'm in my 60s now, what we need to do with the young people. The young people need to do this, and the young people need to do that, and stuff like that. What do you think, what are young folks looking for, you think? Like, not just from us at our age, but what are young people looking for and what are they looking to do to contribute to society today?
I would say, I guess, more avenues for people to express themselves, I would say, or ways for people to let out energy, because I feel like not necessarily my generation, but now more people are inside and on tablets and phones and don't really get out and about. So like bringing more stuff that's out and about and in the environment for the youth, like out in the city.
Where are you from?
Kansas City.
You're from, I see you got it all on. I didn't know everybody a Kansas City fan, but except for me. But okay, so listen to this though. I grew up in Chicago. You were in the city too, in the inner city and stuff like that. So what does it take for me, it was like Boys and Girls Club of the Park District in Chicago. I took photography and tennis and stuff like that. What does it take to keep someone focused, to quit from getting involved, to all those things that the city has to offer to lead you down the wrong way?
Sports, of course.
Sports is good.
Like AAU. In my city, like drumline, step teams, stuff like that.
Okay. And for us, also, and we look for mentoring. And I know my brother here is a good mentor. I'll tell him about what mentoring is and what for young people are looking for someone, because they might not ever have that father figure or grandfather figure. And so I've had that, but I also had teachers and people in the community. Tell them a little bit about what it is that we have to give to the young people, and as far as how we mentor them.
The first thing I know we got to give is a positive example. Because if you're trying to tell them and teach them and assist them the right way to go, and you ain't living right, it's not going to work. So the first thing is to be that positive role model that they can look up to, and they see that positivity does win out here. Because a lot of times from different neighborhoods we come from, we feel the selling drugs and being a player and all these things that are negative, that's how you make it, because that's what we've seen, right? But it always loses. You always lose out that way. So we got to teach our young people by a positive example, and also minister them, of the right way to go and why we're taking those steps and how they're supposed to follow through with those steps.
I like that, because it's what, I had a lot of people telling me what to do and what not to do when I was young. And, they telling me, when you get older, you're going to do this. When you get older, and we may tell people that, tell them, I got grandsons in their 20s and everything. So I tell them that when they get older, they're going to remember what certain things that people have told you. What has somebody told you that's sticking with you and stick with you to this day, you think, and that helps you?
You can't get back time.
Ooh, that's a good one, bro. You sure can't. You can't get it back. And I like that, too. It's good to meet you. I appreciate it. Just keep moving forward. Whatever you can do for the Lord, or what you can do to reach anybody else your age, there are people looking for that. They're just looking for positive role model on the same level as them, as far as age level, too. All right? So we're going to be here. You know what I'm saying? We done fought the fight. We done did our little thing. Now it's time for us to look at you guys, because you may not understand. I know Brewers does too. When we see young people like you and young people out here just out in the community, it does something for us, man. It makes us feel good, all right? All right, God bless you. Let's get you. All right, I'm Tony the Mayor. This is my buddy Brewer Curry, Street Prophet, Juneteenth. He got his hand in everything and stuff like that, so we appreciate him. We're going to talk with him more today on Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Experience, Strength, and Hope. Come back and continue to listen on any of our other platforms such as YouTube, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and Apple Podcasts. We encourage you to not only listen, but also reach out and share your stories of experience, strength, and hope at bigdog0862@gmail.com or 785-307-4662. I'm Anthony Timms, and this has been another podcast of Experience, Strength, and Hope from Tony the Mayor Timms. Be blessed, be strong, and most of all, be real.